Now, almost everyone can gain at least 30 extra years of health span. Certain foods, exercise, sauna, and can all boost NAD levels a little bit, maybe 5 to 10%.
Okay.
The problem is we need to increase our NAD levels on average by 100%. We know the optimum, if it goes beyond 100 micromolar, you can have harmful effects.
Biohackers World Podcast.
Hi, I'm Dr. Anna Marie with Happy Whole You, and I am at the Biohackers World event in LA. And you may be wondering, is it your mindset, or could it be your biology, or could it be both? And today I'm joined by Dr. She with Jinfiniti Precision Medicine. And I would love to hear from you what you are doing in the world of health and well-being and just helping people live their best life.
It's so nice to be with you, Dr. Marie. And I am an academic scientist for over 4 decades. My research has been about identifying risk factors and high-risk individuals so we can prevent diseases and injury. We really want to catch the problems before they actually occur. Prevention is so much better than a cure if it's possible. I believe that we have the tools, we have the knowledge now to give people back the 30 years that are lost.
I mean, I like that. That sounds delicious. 30 extra years of health and vitality. So some people may have a great mindset and they feel like they're doing all the right things, but something still feels off. When it comes to their biology, what could be going on with them?
Well, there are so many things that could be going on. As you know, and the number one issue is probably the lack of cellular energy.
Cellular energy. What does that mean?
So now, let's say to drive a car, you have an engine and you have gasoline, and without the gasoline, the car wouldn't move. All our cells also need the energy for the cells to function and for the body to function. The production of cellular energy is in the form of a molecule called ATP. Many people may have heard of ATP.
ATP, I think high school biology.
High school biology. Anyone who has gone to high school
ATP.
biology classes may remember ATP. If you don't, you can check it out. ATP is a fundamental molecule that runs our cells.
Is it like the battery in your cell that gives you energy?
I would not call the battery. I think it's actually what's running the bodies. So we eat, we drink, and our cells turn the food into energy, into the power plants within our cells. These power plants are called the mitochondria. And the mitochondria produce ATP with the help of a very important coenzyme called NAD, or nicotinamide
NAD, I've heard of that.
dinucleotide. Unfortunately, the NAD levels decline with age, and also is deficient in individuals who have health problems.
So if you already have health issues, your NAD is probably already lowered?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? And then when do NAD levels start to lower? When would we notice that?
That's a very good question. If you just look at the population as a whole, and in teenagers, only about 25% of them are deficient in NAD. If you go to individuals in their 20s, 75% become suboptimal.
75% in your 20s?
75% of people in their 20s are deficient in NAD. Now, if you go beyond 30, and almost every single person is suboptimal to deficient. we have tested tens of thousands of individuals in the last 6 years. I have only found one person who is not deficient in NAD and who does not take a NAD product.
What do they do? How old are they? What are they doing? In their life?
This particular person is in his 60s.
Okay.
He does not take anything that I can consider as NAD promoting product or food. And I'm not sure why his NAD is optimal, frankly.
Wow.
I talked to him. I try to identify what the possible factors. I have no clue. But he's one exception out of tens of thousands.
Oh my goodness. That's interesting. So can you test NAD levels? How do you know if you're deficient or not?
Well, actually, we developed the world's first NAD test about 6 years ago. It's a very simple test. It's a finger prick. You make a drop you take a drop of blood and make a blood spot, and then send the blood back to our laboratory, and we can measure the NAD level inside the blood. And that information is so important. Testing is the only way that we can.
But we should all
use
assume
to
we're
optimize.
deficient in it anyways.
Well, adults, every single adult is
my
can be assumed to be deficient.
Yeah.
What's important is, we know we are deficient, but if you don't test, you don't know whether the product
Like
you are
how
taking
deficient.
actually works.
Yeah. Okay. Well, are there any natural ways to increase NAD levels in the body? And then you said something about precursors to NAD. So is there anything natural that we should be doing right now to help our levels?
Yes and no. Yes, because certain foods, exercise, sauna, and can all boost NAD levels a little bit, maybe 5 to 10%.
Okay.
The problem is we need to increase our NAD levels on average by 100%. Increasing it by 10% is really not going to do anything for you. That's why I said yes and no.
Yeah. I mean, 10% is better than nothing.
10% is better than nothing.
Yeah.
That's why I have to say yes.
Yeah.
I want to encourage a healthy lifestyle,
Yes.
right? But if you want to get the therapeutic benefits, natural ways are not sufficient. They are helpful, but not sufficient. And they are potentially many different ways to increase NAD levels. Just to be simple and short, the oral NAD precursor is the best way to increase and optimize NAD levels.
So NAD precursor, what would that be?
There are many different NAD precursors. I will just tell you the best one.
Okay.
Best
That's
two.
what we want to know, the best.
Yeah.
Best one or two, okay.
Yeah, the best one is NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide. The second best one is called NR, nicotinamide riboside. NMN is a one-step precursor. It takes only one enzyme to convert NMN to NAD.
So these precursors that you take, are they a supplement? Is it a powder? Is it something that you take as a pill?
There are various products on the market, and there are capsules, there are powders, and there are tablets or chewable. And we know the chewable or the lozenges have the best efficacy because you have sublingual absorption.
Okay. So what about somebody who is, because I've seen that you can take NAD orally, sublingual, you can do injections.
Yeah.
So if someone's doing the injections of NAD, should they have the precursors first?
Delivery methods, IV infusion, injection, or supplements, nasal sprays,
Okay.
and patches.
Okay, so
And
patches,
suppositories.
patches, nose, swallow, IV, a push,
Yeah,
and suppository.
suppository. Six different ways
Okay.
to deliver NAD product.
Okay.
Okay, and then you can combine with different types of products. You have the NAD molecule itself. That's very big. It does not get inside the cells. And then you have various NAD precursors.
Oh, okay.
It's a
I didn't know
precursor.
tryptophan was.
Tryptophan, it takes a long way to
Yeah.
to be converted to NAD.
Which is amino
tryptophan
acid, yeah.
is actually one of the molecule that we make NAD naturally in our body.
Interesting.
But it's not a very efficient way. And that's why taking a tryptophan to increase NAD is not going to work very well. Okay. So if you, there are products with IV NAD, IV NMN, IV NR. None of the IV infusions can increase intracellular NAD.
So
Forget about it.
The IVs do not increase NAD within your cells based on your research.
Correct.
Okay, so then how do
Right.
what have you found that works?
Yeah. Patches
Okay, patches.
don't deliver enough.
Okay.
Nasal spray, depending on how many times you spray, how much you spray, and it may or may not be sufficient. So is the injection. It depends on how often and how much you inject.
Okay.
Most people are not getting enough based on the current recommendations. Okay. The best way is the oral delivery of NAD precursor, NMN or NR. But most customers are not getting their NAD optimized because dosage is not right. And
Okay.
some people may be getting too much.
Oh, so you can get too much.
You can get too much.
Okay.
So through extensive studies, we know the optimum levels of NAD is between 40 and 100 micromolar. If it goes beyond 100 micromolar, you can have harmful effects.
So
such
what?
as
Yeah. What would those
inflammation.
harmful effects be?
Vascular inflammation, increased cardiovascular risk, and a lot of people are taking niacin to reduce the cholesterol level. If someone takes high dose niacin, your NAD level can be extremely high, and it can cause insomnia.
Oh, interesting.
We made this discovery about a year ago. No one made a link between niacin intake and insomnia. It's been going on for decades. No one made
wow.
that observation.
Yeah.
And we were shocked that how well it works. If you take niacin away, you can sleep like a baby the same night. The harmful effects are discovered in the last couple of years. That's related to vascular inflammation, cardiovascular risk, and we made an observation of between insomnia and high dose of niacin.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. When was NAD discovered? Can we go back in time? Like,
And
when was-
I don't remember exactly when was it discovered. It was probably discovered over 100 years ago.
okay. But now we're like fascinated with it.
The impact, the clinical functional benefits of NAD was discovered in the last 2 decades. And it has become popular in the last 5 years. And now NAD is everywhere.
Yeah.
That's the good news. The bad news is the vast majority of consumers still does not know what to do, what are the benefits they can expect. NAD can give you incredible benefits, but you can only get the incredible benefits if your NAD levels are optimized.
And what are those incredible benefits?
The incredible benefits can be from A to Z. I will only give you 3.
Okay.
Increase the energy. I think many people get tired.
Yes.
And second one is cognitive function improvement. You can benefit patients with dementia, Parkinson's, and brain fog. The third one is improvement in sleep quality. I can go on and on, right?
Yeah.
Faster recovery, more endurance. And for some people, you can increase your peak performance as well.
Okay.
Reduce the inflammation.
Yeah.
benefits for patients with heart failure, metabolic syndromes. It can increase insulin sensitivity. And I can go on and on.
Like we need like NAD. The absence of NAD is sounding to me like that could be why we're aging faster.
It is one of the
Cellular
fundamental factors that can either increase aging when it's deficient or help improve the aging process.
NAD may be the next step to really optimizing their health.
NAD absolutely is the next step that they have to do, or I would say is actually the first step that everyone should do. And obviously, I want to emphasize, NAD is very important. I spend a lot of my time and my energy to study it, to help people with it, but NAD is not sufficient. It's necessary, but not sufficient. And in my studies, in my program, we encourage a holistic, personalized precision approach.
Yes, I love that. It has to be personalized.
Right.
Absolutely. It's one piece of the equation, one piece of the pie. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. She. Thank you for sharing with us. That was really insightful for me. I appreciate the work you're doing.
Thank you very much.